we should be recording.
Okay, I think I hit the button and we're recording.
Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Heather and Kathy again from the Knot House. We're a yarn shop in Frederick, Maryland, specializing in hand-dyed yarns, and this is our second podcast. We want to thank everybody for watching last time. We got a lot of good feedback, and I know we had said that we probably weren't going to do this again until after our pop-up event, which is next weekend.
Next weekend.
But we think that we should go ahead and update you on some things that are going on in the shop still, some new yarns, and there's just too much to talk about. So I'm a little bit obsessive and just said that we had to do it again before the pop-up. So
I think she's decided she likes to edit, is what I think it is.
I like working. So again, thank you for watching the podcast. Please subscribe. There is a little, I think it's a red button on YouTube that you subscribe to, and that will give you an email once we publish new podcasts, so that you'll just know about them first, right? So again, just subscribe, and
we're going to have a giveaway, right?
Right. We were talking about that this morning, that we needed to come up with a giveaway for reaching a certain number of subscriptions. So I think we decided that when we get to 500, was it 500 subscribers?
500. I think that's a good first milestone.
Right. So when we get to 500, I think what I'm going to do is I'll open up another Ravelry thread and I'll say something like 500 subscriber podcast giveaway, and we'll come up with some questions or something for that. But that will probably be in the next couple of podcasts, right? So, and I think what I'm going to do too is, as far as the giveaway goes, maybe ask some of the hand dyers that are here for the pop-up if they would contribute or make some suggestions about the giveaway. So
Okay.
don't let us forget to do that.
All right, I'll try not to.
Do you have a list?
I have a list.
I have a list.
I have a whole file folder system going on.
So anyway, I guess we should probably go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to talk about. One of the things that I asked is for people to give us some questions that they wanted us to talk about, and we got a couple, so we want to do that first.
Okay. All right.
So Eastern Shore Jackie, this is one of our customers. She asked us, she's from the Eastern Shore. She asked us to talk about the restaurants in Frederick, because when she comes down with her husband, she has to bribe him because it's a little bit of a haul for them. Eastern Shore is about a 2-hour drive. She has to bribe him with them going to eat somewhere. So downtown Frederick, over the past 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years, yeah.
I'm looking up again. Over the past 5 or 6 years has really, really gotten some good restaurants. And I was thinking about the one I was going to mention, and I might mention two. And but I want to say, as a caveat, there are a lot of really good restaurants in Frederick. And
I always say there's no bad restaurants in Frederick. A lot of variety of what you want.
Right. It kind of depends on what you want. If you want something quick, or if you want a little bit more atmosphere, or if you want really good wine. So I'm just going to jump into it and say that if you want really good wine and good food too, don't get me wrong. I would say the Wine Kitchen would be my pick for a good restaurant to go to. It's a little expensive, but you get what you pay for. And
they have nice outdoor seating too this time of year.
No, that's true. I forgot about that. It's right along the creek, Carroll Creek, which is a newer walkway that kind of goes not through downtown, but kind of like on the side of downtown. So it's a pretty walk.
I always suggest when ladies come in, not that it's only a ladies' place to go, but it's a nice lunch place, and that's the Orchard.
It's kind of a ladies' place.
Well, maybe it is. But you see men in there too.
It's because they don't know it's a ladies' place until after they've been there.
I had 2 ladies in yesterday, and they went in and they said that they had baked avocado and brie. and it was to die for. So that's always a good one.
Yeah.
But there's, if you like, there's a good Thai restaurant if you like Thai. There's a good Mexican restaurant if you like Mexican. There is a tapas, Isabella's.
There's sushi.
There's sushi. So there's anything you want. There's a
and then
restaurant
there's
downtown.
then there's the, is it the Indian? The one down that has the sandwiches?
Cuban.
The Cuban place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you already say that?
I did.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry. Do you want to lead today?
Well, we all know you're not going to let me, so
I don't know, I
you
might.
can say that you're going to let me.
I might let you lead today.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes for me.
So anyway,
See?
if you are coming to Frederick and you want some suggestions on some places to eat, feel free to call us, and we can kind of guide you, or come in first and we'll tell you where to go, and maybe we'll recommend a couple more on the next podcast. There's just so many places in Frederick to eat.
There is, and we both live downtown, so consequently we don't think there's any place in Frederick to eat but downtown.
Right, and I mean there's the cheese shop, there's the Staros, so anyway, I think that covers that question.
Okay. The next question was a question about sock yarn and fingering. What's the difference? And
can you replace one? Can you use them interchangeably?
Right.
In a pattern.
Right. So I was thinking about that this morning, how I would answer that. And you can use sock yarn in place of fingering. You cannot always use fingering in place of sock yarn. And that's because sock yarn usually has nylon in it. And if I'm making socks, I want nylon in it because if I'm going to make socks, I want them to last, right? And the nylon doesn't add stretch, it adds strength. So any sock yarn then you could use for a shawl, but you probably don't want to use a merino cashmere or a merino silk for a sock, unless it's a house sock that's not going in a shoe. So the basic answer to that is yes, most of the time they're interchangeable. It's just that if you're doing a sock, you want to make sure that there's nylon in it.
But you don't have to. It's your choice, as long as you know. Because some people...
Most sock yarn has nylon in it. Not all of them, but if it says sock, it usually has nylon in it. So that would...
Right.
Right.
I mean, but you've got Lilt sock, Black Trillium, and it doesn't have nylon in it.
No, but it has mulberry silk. And the consensus on that is that the silk is equally as strong as the nylon.
Right, so that was a variation.
So you're catching me in it.
It's a variation of what you just said. So I just want to, it depends, right?
They're the same weight and almost always the same yardage.
Or close to.
As much as any fingering is the same.
Right.
But as far as being interchangeable, yes, they would be. There really is not. The nylon is the only difference.
Okay.
All right, is that good enough?
Yeah, that's good. I think that was good.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
So thank you for asking us those questions and giving us another topic to talk about on the podcast. Keep sending those, please, because it kind of guides us and it helps us, keep this interesting and talking about what you guys want to hear about. So, with that, what's next?
What are you wearing? From the slowest knitter on the planet.
Yep. So, it's funny, last night she sent me a text and said, well, what are you wearing tomorrow? And I said, I'm wearing the sweater. Of course I'm wearing the sweater, which is a little bit of a joke. If you're a regular here in the shop, you know that Mom and I have this little banter going back and forth about the sweater she knits for me, because I don't ask for the sweaters. She'll say, if I were going to knit a sweater for you, what would it be? And I give her some suggestions. But then when I don't immediately jump up and down and do cartwheels over how the sweater's progressing, I am unappreciative.
She never jumps up and down.
I'm unappreciative. I'm not showing the appropriate level of enthusiasm. And the whole shop gangs up on me. They gang up on me about it. And so then I just say, fine, I'm not saying anything about the sweater. But, so, I am wearing the, what is the name of this one? This is Ravello.
Yes.
It's by Isabel Kramer if you didn't watch the first podcast. Remember from last time I was giving Mom a little bit of a hard time about lining up the gold, and you know, I'll be darned if she didn't do a pretty good job of lining it up.
You got an extra lighter gold on this one than you do on that one.
But I didn't count the stripes. Are the number of the total stripes the same?
Yes, the total number.
So
of stripes
anyway,
is the
it's a
same.
little tighter. I'm gonna sweat it. I'm gonna stand up so that you can see it. It's a little of a tighter fit than what I usually wear, so I can't gain a pound. But
It has a nice detail. Turn around here
What's
on the
this?
side, so it looks like it was seamed, but it was not. That's a pearl, 2 knits and a pearl. So that's a little nice touch on a basic raglan sweater.
oh, I want to point out too that there are 3 colors of this spin cycle.
There are not 3 colors.
Well, there's 3 colors here.
This middle color is now discontinued because
Well,
it
we
was
should
so
tell
close.
people that.
Okay, so it was so close to the dark that now there's only the dark and the light.
Right, and this is Spin Cycles
Private label.
private label, and it is a merino.
It is a merino non-superwash.
It's no special wool. It's just a regular merino.
Well, merino special.
Well, no, I just mean it's not like a Polworth or
Right, it's not. It's a merino.
it's merino. Okay. So anyway, it's comfortable. It's really. I thought I was going to be a little bit hot doing this podcast right now in the shop because it's kind of warm here today, but it feels good. I'm not
Thanks.
burning up yet, so either I'm not nervous, or it's kind of light actually. So I'm very happy with the sweater. I'll keep my happiness inside. I don't have to share it with everyone, and if Mom can't accept that as me being thankful, I don't know what to say. So
That's the way you always have been. And her son is the same way, so she gets to deal with it herself.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we carry we got to talk about this part too. We
Right.
did this last time, but this is Spin Cycle, and they're dyed in the wool, which is also a sport weight. And as you can see, it has
Long colors.
long color repeats
And
because
the
this is
hanks-
all one skein, right?
Right. In the hanks, it looks like it's just variegated, but as you can see here, it's stripes, long stripes.
Yeah.
I did manipulate over here to make sure that I had the yellow that came up where it was
Right,
supposed
where
to.
it was supposed to. So how many skeins did it take?
One of this.
One of this, and then how many of the private label?
It took one of each color.
Except for the really dark at the bottom.
Right.
Right.
But these were 500 yard skeins.
Okay.
What we have is 400 yard
400
skeins.
yard skein. So we carry this Spin Cycle dyed in the wool, and we also carry the Spin Cycle private label, but we don't carry it in this color because this color is discontinued. We have it in the light, and then again, I'll stand up real quick in this darker.
Which is, it.
You can see it's darker. I mean, it's
It's
yeah,
different.
it's good.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm wearing. What are you wearing, Mom?
I am wearing Sunny Sail. This, Carissa did this,
Mm-hmm.
who knits for the shop and is a fabulous knitter, I must say. So this is
Maybe you can see it a little bit better that way. So
Sunny Sail, and it is Julie Ossoline, Fino, and her merino, and her silk and mohair. So it is 6 rows of garter, and then stocking net for the
okay, so
So it is Julie Ossoline's Fino, and then
I think this is the exact colorway that one was done in, Mom.
yes, it is.
It's really pretty.
And then the mohair and silk. So it is just 6 rows of garter of the Fino, and then the mohair and silk is 6 rows in stocking net. And I believe it's a size 6 needle, and it is light as a feather. You could wear it all summer.
Yeah. When Clarissa brought it in, gosh, it was just a couple days ago,
Yeah.
right? she had it on and it was so pretty on her. I don't remember if she had it on with black.
No, she had it on with white.
With white?
But she had her hair all up and...
Right. It just looks so light and elegant. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. I'll put it back on you. Because I have to dress Mom sometimes. So you can see the shape of it. Oops. Starts off, really, really small, and then it gets wide, right? So it's really, so it's just the 2 skeins, right?
1 skein of each. Mm-hmm.
So, here, all right, I'll do this. So anyway, we were excited to get this in the shop as a shop sample, and before the pop-up too, because Julie's going to be here.
Right, we didn't have anything in the mohair.
In the mohair done up, right? So, so lots of color combinations too. Sorry to interrupt.
It's a simple pattern, and she said it was a joy to work on because it was just light as a feather.
And we can't pronounce the designer's name.
Well, no.
I'll put it in the notes, and I'll of course put it at the bottom of the screen too.
I believe it's in German, and the translation is Sunny Sail.
Right. So it's actually a free pattern on Ravelry too. So
it is.
I know everybody loves the free patterns, so we'll make sure that we have a link in the Ravelry group to the pattern. It's again, it's Sunny Sail, but it's not spelled like Sunny Sail, is it?
That's the German.
Okay. So simple pattern that's 2 skeins, especially if you want to try to do something with the mohair, if you haven't used the mohair. And I think it's very wearable. I mean, I would wear that in a minute.
Well, all year
anywhere.
round.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
All year round.
Very pretty. So, let's see. One of the other things we wanted to talk about again is the Find Your Fade. And one of our local customers, one of our regulars, said, you kind of gave the Find Your Fade a little bit of a bad rap because you said it was too big for your mom because she was so little. And I think part of the reason I said that was because of the way we're sitting and the way we're set up, you couldn't really see the full effect of the Find Your Fade. So, Mom, that's not working. You're going to have to stand up and scoot this back because you can't see it. So, again, so this is the Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. And, Mom, tell us what you thought about it when you were knitting it. Because we didn't really spend that much time on it, and I want to just make sure we cover it because it really is a great pattern. So, here, I'll get this out of the way now.
Okay. So, I loved knitting it, and it's huge. When I say huge, it's 1,400 yards. Let me get in here a little better. But it's the same repeat in 7 colors. So, you do garter, you do a little bit of lace, and then you do garter again, and then you change colors. And then you do garter, and you do lace. But about the time you're tired of doing garter, you get to do a 6-row repeat 3 times of lace. And, about the time you think, boy, this is going really slow, then you get to do garter again, and you think, oh, God, it's a lot faster.
And you're changing the colors as you do it, too.
You do.
So you're getting to see how the colors kind of all fade together and how they go together. So I want to mention...
let me get this one out of the way.
Dottie's Find Your Fade. We asked her if we could show it today in the podcast. There's a little bit of a story about this one. Dottie is also the customer that said we didn't spend enough time on it. So... she's a partial to the Find Your Fade. She's on her second one right now.
Almost finished with it.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Almost
that's crazy.
Finished.
So this is Dottie's. Get it up here so you can see it. And the story behind this is Dottie is very particular, and she did fabulous. The result is fabulous with the colors. I mean, but Mom, how many times did she change the colors out? You don't. Okay, so she changed the colors out a lot. She would.
She hated this color when she was doing it, and almost quit. But it tied it together.
Yeah.
It tied the teal into the golden brown, and then the Antique Brass. This is Shalimar's Airy.
Right, and that really goes well with
Mm-hmm.
with this one. And this one I think is some of the Into the World that we have.
I believe it is.
Yeah, so she must have because that's a new yarn, so she must have seen that and then said, nope, this is gonna work. Anyway, I'll turn it around, show you the pretty blue in the back. It's really, really gorgeous.
And it looks great on her.
Yeah, she wears it really well. She wears it just loose and
Almost more like a sweater instead of around her neck. It's
right. It's
more
kind of
over
like
her shoulders,
Mhm.
but doesn't really look like a. It looks more like a sweater.
Yeah. So anyway, we wanted to show this off. So thank you, Dottie, for letting us use it. And as I said before, as customers finish, we'll showcase them and show them to everybody. It's such a popular knit right now. Gosh, I don't know how many you've picked out colors for, and I've only picked out colors for one because
It was green.
it was green, and because Mom doesn't let me pick out colors, she takes over and thinks she can do it better than me. So anyway, that's that. So I just leave usually and go help somebody else. So okay, wait.
I'm bad that way. I guess I'm a control freak.
So that explains where I get it from.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't know where you got it from.
Okay, so let's see. I guess that's all we have for finished objects. What we're wearing. I know you're working on a couple of things.
I'm working on a sweater that I did not bring. It is a Joji sweater cardigan that I am using Yosalda's yarn that I got in Edinburgh. And you know, I have this thing that I don't think I should. We don't have that yarn to sell. Now I'm going to make the sweater. This is a selfish knit for me, and I am making it. But it's at home. And I will wear it. Because, you know, I can wear something that I might not have. But I hate to be working on something and somebody say, oh, I really like that. Where's that yarn? And I have to say, we don't sell that yarn.
Yeah.
So
it's just a disappointment then.
when I get it finished, I'm about to separate for the sleeves. When I get it finished, I will wear it so you can see it.
Okay, so what are you working on?
I am working on Summer Camp. Have you got that pattern?
I think I did have that pattern.
This is a new yarn that we're getting in.
So Summer Camp.
Summer Camp.
By Laura Ayler.
By Laura Ayler. It has a nice
See
little.
it here so you guys can see Summer Camp. Again, I'll put all of this stuff on the Ravelry page.
So it's kind of funny. If you're in the shop at all, you know I don't like yellow. And because I don't like it, I guess I just don't sell it much. And I had just got through saying to a customer that was looking for yellow, we don't really have any yellow. We do have yellow, but
Yeah, we see some yellow behind us.
not a lot of yellow. And I get the package, so this is a new yarn that we're getting in. It's Farmer's Daughter. And I got the package that she sent me so that I could knit up something.
Because
And
we told her to pick the colors.
I did. I told her to pick the colors, and what colors did she pick? But I must say, it is a beautiful yellow and a beautiful gold. The yellow looks kind of like butter. It's and has
It's not
a lot
bright yellow.
No, it has a lot of depth to it.
Almost kind of creamy. Yeah, like butter. That's a good description.
So we're supposed to.
Do you know the name of the colorway? Is it in your?
I do. I think it is butter.
So while she's looking for that, we're supposed to be getting this yarn in. I think we're going to get it today. Actually, it's
So it's
due in
melted.
any time.
There's her tag.
Oh
It's
yeah, that's good.
It's melted butter and eagle eye.
Eagle eye. So it's just plain garter. The pattern is just garter.
It is. It's an easy pattern. It's easy to memorize. You get these little scallops on the edge by increasing and decreasing.
So those aren't bind offs?
Nope.
Oh, so it's not like Hitchhiker then?
No.
Okay.
No. So as you go along, you're increasing, and then to get the other side, you're decreasing.
Okay. makes sense.
So it's a nice, I have done this pattern once before. I did it in Swift.
Oh, that's right. I
But we don't
remember.
have that we let her take that sample.
Right. So the yarn is a single ply.
And it is 70 merino, 30 silk, single. I really like it. It's got a nice tight twist on it.
But it's light. So it's
Very
good,
light.
good for summer.
Be
too.
very good for summer.
Okay. And that's just 2 skeins.
2 skeins.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I have a funny story to tell you about what I'm working on, which is same thing I was working on last time.
You do take notice. Today
Right.
is 1 week from,
No, it's 2 weeks.
no, 1 week from the pop-up.
Oh, it was 2 weeks from when we actually filmed the first podcast. And yes, I said that I was going to have this finished. And I have made progress. Okay, don't think. Where's my pattern? I have made progress. But this is a funny story. So yesterday I was going to a customer meeting with a coworker, and he drove. So I got my knitting, and I put it in the car, and we had about an hour drive. And so I said, "Yay, I get to knit while you drive." And he laughed a little bit about it. But when after the meeting, we swapped cars with somebody else, and I wrote, he wasn't coming back to Frederick. So anyway, long story short, I left my knitting in his car, and he calls me and he said, "Heather, you left your knitting bag in my car."
Oh, no, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I know, because I was disappointed because, I was going to have all 10 repeats done to brag about today, okay? And then I thought, well, I got a lot of work to do. I got to figure out what we're going to talk about on the podcast. I have to make sure that I've got the camera working and everything done right. So then I went and printed out the patterns so that we'd have them in color. Anyway, it was a good thing because I didn't end up having any time to knit last night anyway. So again, this is Across the Pond from Andrea Mowry. And I'm using Spin Cycle. I'm using their private label in the dark color, actually, and then the dyed in the wool. And this is really good. I'm actually glad I have this much done because you can see how the color changes. And see how my pattern is, Mom? I think I'm doing it, no mistakes.
Yeah.
So I think I have 2 more repeats, maybe 3. So I don't know what to say. I'm doing the best I can. So.
But I am the slowest
She's
knitter
the slowest knitter on the planet? Yeah. Well,
So
maybe
I
we need to
finished
do
her-
something and race together and
Do
see.
you want to?
I can take it. I don't have to win everything.
Oh, right. Right.
Especially if I know going into it that I'm not going to win, that there's no chance I can win.
So I finished this sweater and I'm about to divide for the sleeves on my sweater.
Right.
And doing the shawl.
Right, I know. You're so good. So what else? What else is on our list, Mom? You're supposed to be leading this podcast.
No, you're leading it.
No, I'm not.
All right, so let's talk about some things that are hot in the shop. There's a sweater that I want to do.
Well, here, you show it.
It's by Andrea Mowry, and it's called So Faded.
I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's all over Instagram.
It's fingering weight, and basically she says that you can use 3, you can use 5, you can use 10, whatever you want to use.
You mean different colors?
Different colorways. Now I picked out some colors because I thought I was going to do this for Heather, and then she told me last night she didn't want me to do it for her.
That's not exactly what I said.
What
We can replay that. Why don't you talk about these colors first? What?
Okay, so I decided that if I was going to do this for Heather,
Yeah, that way's good. Yeah.
that I would do her teals and greens because she's a blue teal girl.
This would have to be, I don't know, that would have to be on the top, maybe the bottom.
Bottom.
Bottom, the
Bottom.
dark.
Yeah, the dark.
Well, she's got the dark on the top. I know, but for me it would be more flattering if it's on the bottom.
It would.
That's why
which is why I had it picked this way.
Okay.
Okay? So you want your colors pretty close together, because how you fade them, those were Western Sky and Spun Right Around, by the way. What you do with them is you do 10 rows where you alternate, and that's how you fade it.
You do 10 rows.
So if you started out with this color, which is Spun Right Around,
Mm-hmm.
you would do however many inches you were going to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then your second color, which this one would be Western Sky,
Mm-hmm.
you alternate them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you stripe them for 10
okay.
rows.
So okay. I understand now.
So it fades.
Okay.
Um,
So that's how you get the faded.
that's how you get the faded effect. Yes.
Right. So the only thing I said last night was that she needs to make the sweater for herself. If she wants to make the sweater, I think you should make it for yourself, because like I said, I'm tired of the guilt. So, I mean, you tried the sweater on, it fit you, but you won't take it because you say it's meant for me, but you want it because you think I'm not appreciative enough, and everybody in the shop says you should just take the sweater. So
I am so mean. I am so mean. Can't you tell? Ask her how many sweaters I've made for her.
I don't know. I have about a half a dozen. But maybe I want to do it. See, that's the other thing. You never let me have a chance. I never get a chance to say what I want to do. Or would you do it short sleeve like that?
No, long sleeve.
Okay.
And that one's cropped, and you don't want it cropped
No,
either.
I wouldn't do it cropped.
But she has it both ways.
Okay. Because maybe I want to do it, and so then she takes the fun out of it.
Tell me about the last sweater you wanted to do that you wouldn't let me do.
It's back there in the back. No, I still don't want you to do it. I will do it. I will do it.
Ask her how far she is on it.
Okay, so I want to say something else about this before we leave this topic about the sweater, and I don't want to go any further into why Mom and I argue about why she doesn't need to knit the sweater for me. So people have been coming in and wanting to do this,
yes.
Right?
We picked 3 yesterday. 2 sisters came in, and the one sister that's not going to get to be here for the pop-up shop, she said that yesterday was her pop-up shopping. And we picked out a purple that she loved, and then we picked out a green that she loved. So she said, I'll do them both.
Yeah, and if not, then she'll do something else probably. But
and then her sister picked out one that was grays and browns and navy. Pretty.
That was pretty.
Pretty.
So I think it's going to be kind of like the boxy. I do. I think it's going to be.
Well, it's a raglan.
It's fingering weight though, and that's going to be Some people don't. It's going to take forever. People like me, it'll take forever to finish.
But it's not a complicated pattern by any means. It has garter here in the raglan, but other than that, I've already read the pattern, and it's not. It's a
not
basic.
Complicated.
It's a basic raglan sweater.
So it's top down.
Top down.
So you can try it on too
as you go along.
Okay, so we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, and two, I don't know how you can pick out colors for it before the pop-up.
Well, if I'm going to make it for you, I need to have colors that we have.
Well, that's true. But we won't have those colors by the time.
But I can get those colors.
We can get these colors. This is true. And we do have some right now in those colors. It's just that I know.
Our kind of rule of thumb is that we don't work on anything that we don't have in the shop.
Right.
Which is why I'm working on the sweater at home.
Yeah. Okay, so there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I have to give Betsy credit for this because I mentioned Casapinka's Cubecha the other night. That's kind of light, you can't see the color, but I'll put it up here a little bit closer. It's Casapinka, and the name of it is Cubecha, and you can see here these little tiny little dots along this shawl. They're little cubes. And a couple of weeks ago, I saw a podcast from Casapinka, or some type of instructional video on the cubes. So she actually shows you how to make the cubes. And I'm kind of a skimmer because I'm always looking at stuff on the computer and don't really read a lot of detail. So I mentioned it to Betsy at Tuesday night, knit night, and she said, "Well, you know what the story is, don't you?" And I said, "Well, no. What's the story?" And she said, "Well, it's Cubetcha. It's about her son's a cuber, and they designed it together, and part of the proceeds go to him going to, what are they, championships or
In Paris.
yeah. So and then she said, and on top of that, they're donating some of the pattern proceeds to a well-known designer, Elena Nodell, that is struggling with some health issues. So I said, wait a minute, don't tell me anymore. I need to go home and read about it if I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. So thank you, Betsy, for giving me those little insights about it. But yeah, so she's got the story is up on Ravelry under the pattern, and she talks about how her son, who's 10, and first of all, Casapinka is lovely. She's been to the shop. She comes to the pop-up shop.
She's gonna
be here again. She'll
she'll
visit.
be here.
And we knew her kind of before she was as popular as she is now, and she's just lovely. She's very witty. She's very quick and very witty, and I always appreciate that in somebody because I don't feel like I am. But so anyway, her 10-year-old son is a cuber, and he asked her if he could go to the championships if he qualified. And apparently she said yes, thinking, there's no way he's going to qualify.
She said also she was knitting, and it was a kind of a offhanded, well, of course you can if you qualify.
Right,
kind
if
of
you
not
qualify,
thinking.
yeah. So apparently they admit 1,000 cubers.
Yes.
And she said that, well, his best time was 14 seconds, which I can't. Yeah, she said his personal best is 14 seconds, which is well away from world record time. How can that be? Anyway, I never was into the cubing stuff, but anyway, so he qualified, and there's a little bit more about the dyer that he worked with. He kind of concocted a plan with her to come up with this pattern and work out the proceeds. She gets some of the pattern funds. He gets some of the pattern funds, and so does this other cause for Elena and her health issues. So I thought that was worth mentioning. I really like the shawl itself. I think it's different. Casapinka was, I think, known for the looped shawl.
Yes.
That we
Which
did.
is how we met her.
That's how we met her, yeah. I think that was one of her most popular shawls, and I think this one might get right up there, actually. You said everybody was doing it.
Yes.
Everybody's.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly how much the pattern is. Oh, it says it's $6. So it's a $6 pattern. It came out in April, so it's really current, and so you're helping a lot of people by downloading this one. So again, it's Cubetcha, Casapinka. So I don't know, maybe I'll start that one. Learn how to do cubes.
Okay.
She says.
Okay.
So I think is that everything for what's hot?
I think that's all. There's a lot more that's hot. We got new little fox in this week.
New colors.
And the Vulpine.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, is starting, has gotten their yarn to start the Alicia Plummer.
Oh, yeah,
Mystery Knit Along.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, then there's Hoji's Mystery Knit Along, too.
I know that Heather says she's going to do, so I can't do. But she hasn't
But
really.
That's bigger.
She hasn't committed to that.
No.
It's fingering, and it is 1,700 yards. So, she has to.
I have a trip coming up.
She has to decide if she's going to do it or if I'm going to do it.
I know.
She's got.
Because we're doing it in the shop.
Yes.
But somebody has to do it.
Exactly.
Well, we'll see who's gotten the most done. Maybe whoever has more time needs to do it. I don't know.
All right.
Maybe I'll do it.
If you're doing it, I'm not going to do it.
Well, I just haven't committed because I know that we're going to have some kits for that for the pop-up. I know
Yes.
that Duck Wool is.
Oh God, she's got some gorgeous ones.
Yeah, she's done some fabulous color sets for the Hoji Mystery Knit Along. So So that's one. And then I think Swift is doing some kits for the fade sweater too. So I don't know. It's just all overwhelming. So I don't know how I'm going to decide what I'm doing. Maybe I'm just going to do both, and I'll just focus on the mystery cow. And then you can do a sweater, and depending on what size you do, if it fits you, it fits you. If it fits me, it fits me.
Oh,
Maybe
did
that's
you hear
what
that?
we'll do.
Uh-huh.
Then we just have to figure out the colors, which we wouldn't agree on if
it's for you, it's for you. If it's for me, it's for me.
So, a couple real other things before we go. We got a couple little things in this week. These are our new pins. Let's see if we can get them up here. It's really weird how you have to turn it a certain way to get it. So these are the Knot House buttons. You guys might have seen these from other shops, and they're fun. They've got a little pin on the back.
A lot of people collect them.
Yeah, they collect them and they put them on their knitting bags and stuff. So the Knot House has one now.
And we're going to debut that at the pop-up shop.
At the pop-up shop, yep. So are we selling these for how much?
$8.
$8. Yep. It's a little bit bigger than the size of a quarter. It's like about a $half size maybe.
Almost.
And then Ann Tudor, maybe you know this by her little custom little boxes here. She is a stitch marker maker, and these are glass, right?
These are glass.
So let me see if I can get these up here for you to see these. Oh no, I'm gonna turn them around. See, it's got a little KH. It's a little bit out of focus, but she made these special for us for the pop-up. So it's just a little house. It's a
with
little
a lobster clasp. So it's called a progressive stitch marker.
Yeah. So anyway, we can't see. I've lost it. Sorry, guys. So it's a little house with a little roof. It's kind of cute, and we'll have these at the pop-up too. These aren't sold in sets though, right? They're just singles.
Just singles. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then how much are these?
$6.
Okay. So anyway, we don't have that many though.
30 maybe.
30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyway, they'll be at the register too. So if you're coming to the pop-up, there'll be goodies like this that are
at the register.
At the register, and you might be overwhelmed and not see them. So I wanted to mention them.
We're also going to have some other enamel pins.
From who?
Spin Cycle.
Oh yeah, the enamel pins. I was talking about the stitch marker, and you went back to the enamel pin.
Well, you said we were going to have other goodies.
Oh yeah. Okay, I understand. So yes, we've got those coming in. So we're excited about the pop-up shop. I went through the list of vendors that are going to be here, and Magpie, Periwinkle Sheep, Spin Cycle, Julie Osseline. We've got some That Clever Clementine. We've got Skeiny Dipping. We've got Laura, Clay by Laura, so she'll have some clay pieces. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Cannon Hand Dyes.
Cannon Hand Dyes will be here.
Yep, she'll be here. I think I already said Periwinkle Sheep. Magpie. Yes. And I think Magpie is going to have her new collection here. It's a little bit of a secret. So she has a new yarn base that we will carry. It's Soltis.
It is.
Yep. And
I already have a sweater in it.
Mom has a sweater. She'll be wearing that.
I'll be wearing it Friday night.
Yep, she'll be wearing that Friday night. And so anyway, but I think she's going to have the whole collection here. So if you're a Magpie fan and you've seen those pictures on Instagram, you'll be able to see them in person first. So
here.
So anyway, again, I want to thank everybody for watching. I thought I had some of the bugs worked out of. I did work out the bugs for the lighting, I think, but we had the one spot where I had to reset. So we hope you enjoy the podcast. Again, please subscribe. We will talk about what the giveaway is going to be maybe next time after the pop-up.
Okay.
And we have to get to 500 subscribers, and it'll be a substantial giveaway. So.
And continue asking us questions, things that you'd like to know about us, know about knitting. We're going to try and include some tips on knitting today. It was about the sock yarn, maybe stitches whatever you guys want to see, just let us know. So give us your feedback.
Things about Frederick, because Frederick's a small little place, but it's a cool little place too. So if you have some questions about that, or events that are coming up in Frederick, you can just ask us, and hopefully we can time it so that it works out and we can cover it on the podcast. So again, hope you enjoyed it. And I'm Heather.
And I'm Kathy.
Or AKA Mom. And we're the Knot House. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.